All right, welcome to day number 2. I'm excited to have you back. So basically you learned a lot in, your first call, your day number 1 call. Obviously the awareness, the clarity that it really takes for you to go out there and actually start to transform your business. It really starts with you recognizing that you have to stop chasing money and you have to start going out there and having more clarity about who it is and how to become more valuable in the marketplace. And I'm pretty sure you're already asking yourself, well, how do I become more valuable? Or how do I take the path of being more valuable? And I'm going to show you here on today's call, because today's call is basically the start of you going out there and actually getting more clients, more sales, and having a system that you're already focused on building. You're already going to know where you need to replace. You're already going to know where you need to start delegating, and you're going to know where you need to start automating. I'm even going to show you what you have access to, because obviously joining our Sales More offers, you actually do have software that I give out for free. It's my software. I basically and simply just white labeled Go High Level for anybody that is familiar with Go High Level. But it's called Beyond Scene software because I implemented a lot of different AI bot strategies, automations that allowed my business and other people's businesses, especially like my clients, allow their business to be on autopilot. So I'm excited to jump in here today. Today, I'm going to share my screen so you guys are going to be able to see me and the stuff I'm working on. But basically, you already know what it took from your day one and how much it cost you. It literally costs you your time, and it costs you your energy, and sometimes it costs you money. And that's why it's important to have a system, because a system is supposed to save yourself time, energy, and money. You're supposed to have systems in order to start gradually multiplying your income. So that's why I want to talk a little bit about staying away from the lower paths and what do the lower paths really look like. So the lower path usually determine on where you are going to take your next value placement at. Let me go ahead and show you my screen. So based on the lower path in your business right now, you need to first discover where it is that you're trying to go. Once you discover where it is that you're trying to go, don't focus on all the places that don't get you there, because focusing on all the places that don't get you there actually end up making your belief system hit every single wall. And then you start having fear. You start having fear of the future based on results that you had in the past. So you cannot determine your future results based on your past expectations of what you've done before. Your action is always based on what you're believing in the present moment. So what I'm going to tell you is how to go out there and start to have a clear guide of actually having clients, community, income flowing with abundance in your business, literally starting today. So the first thing we talked about last call, we talked about the 4 levels of value. Today, we're going to talk about the 4 levels of an offer. So the 4 levels of an offer are based on, a lot of people teach this, Alex Ramosi, Russell Brunson. A lot of people teach this, but I teach this in a much simplistic, basic way to where you can actually implement it today. Because although I learned from mentors, I took it to myself upon getting wisdom and testing it in the marketplace. And I can surely tell you that this 100% works. So the first level of value, is obviously our implementation stage. Our second level of value is our unification stage. Our third level of value is our communication stage. Our fourth level of value is our imagination stage. So we have to be able to use all factors in our 4 levels of an offer. We have to be able to make sure that when you're giving out an offer, you're not focused on trying to sell something. Stop selling and start serving. See, most people, I talked about it in the last call, stop trying to chase money and start building systems. The system you build is your serving. See, I focused on building businesses that solve problems, that serve people's problems. If they do not serve people, why would I go out there and build something that doesn't help someone else get more of a benefit than it actually gives me? I focus on scripture, and it says in Isaiah 55, verse 10, it says to give seed to the sowers and bread to the eaters. This means that you're supposed to give more to someone so they actually become more, which is where the be fruitful comes in at, then rather than giving somebody consumption. Seed to the sowers and bread to the eaters. This means if I give you seeds, you can do more. Your business is now giving somebody more in value than they can receive in what? Cash value. Because someone that you give an offer to cannot receive more in cash value. Reason why? Because sometimes it takes them a process. It takes them time. It takes them to think thoroughly on, are they going to take the action on it? So you never want to compare the cash amount of value. The cash amount of value is just based on the perception of how much you are valuable. It's never about how much the thing is valuable. It's how valuable you are. And why does the 4 levels of value become such a factor? Because the first level of an offer is going to be your free offer. And most people get a free offer, and you probably seen this before on multiple different occasions. People give out free offers, and it'd be like an ebook, it'd be like a video, it just be horrible. And most people give out free cheap stuff. When you're giving out a free offer, that offer is called your transition offer. It's so someone can actually transition to how valuable you are. Now, why are you here on my free offer? Because my free offer, people are getting results without paying for anything. So what does that say? That says my free offer is just as valuable as the offer that people pay for. But the thing is my transition offer has to also be a transformation offer, which means that every single offer, you should be transforming someone's either mindset, income, or opinions. This means that someone should take what you're giving them and have a transformation in their life. And if they don't have a transformation in their life, become more valuable to make them experience the transformation. I call these the 3 core belief systems. You need to operate every offer off of your 3 core belief systems. And this is how you actually communicate to people too as well. Because your 3 core belief systems is as valuable into every single offer that you create, but it's also as valuable into everybody that is looking from the outside in to understanding, okay, where's the value in this? Because people only buy where they're basically having some type of value oriented decision. It's never just an impulsive decision. It's always a core belief system. Means that in a 3 core beliefs, that what does it save them? Does it save them money? Does it save them time? Does it save them energy? Remember the systems. People are buying value. They're buying convenience. Okay. What does it grow them? Does it grow them mentally? Does it grow their finances? Are they able to get back their time? Can they grow in expertise? Can they grow in knowledge? Where do they win? And you want to have all 3 components in each single offer. So that's why I'm talking about this free offer. And then the last one is going to be, what do they experience? See, people want to experience things. When I bought an iPhone, or when I bought this Dunkin' Donuts, so sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts today. But when I bought this Dunkin' Donuts, I knew the experience that the drink gives me. I knew it gives me energy. I knew it tastes a certain way. But also when I go through the drive-through versus going in, the convenience is I save time. And then in the process of everything, I'm able to actually go ahead, grab my drink, grow in energy, and experience the flavor, which means they're now making the process much faster, which means their business model of getting more drive-throughs is actually growing their multitude of people that want to buy their product. What does this mean? You want to have a product right now. You want to look at your product and you want to ask them, versus the people that also have offers, does my offer help them save? And in time, in money, in hassle, does it help them save? Does it help them grow? These are things that I learned at every single level. Apple versus Androids. It doesn't matter what product or service it is. T-Mobile versus AT&T. Does it help them save? Does it help them grow? And what do they experience? See, with T-Mobile, most companies against T-Mobile, they're experiencing T-Mobile Tuesdays. I have AT&T, but I'm just going to tell you based on the experience, whether it's the customer service, whether it's the app, whether it's the benefits, credit cards. Credit cards all have the save, the grow, and the experience method. Does your business model of an offer have the save, the grow, the experience method? Okay, let's move back to the next offer. So we're going to check off the free offer. So remember, your free offer has to have value. Okay, your second offer, which is going to be your core offer. Your core offer, which you guys heard this before, your core product is only solely based on being more valuable than your free offer. So this core product is usually anywhere between like a book, okay, all the way to a membership. This is going to be your informational offer. Your informational offer. And people are always asking me, you know, I dealt with people in the finance industry. I dealt with people in the tax industry. I dealt with people that were CPAs. I dealt with people that are basically doing credit. I dealt with everyone in different environments. And as again, my industry is the restaurant. I started off in a restaurant because I knew if the commodity of making food and having people buy food was already a high demand. We live off of food. So I was like, okay, if we live off of food, all I got to do is make the experience, the time, and what they save and where they grow. I had to make that all come into a package at each single different level until that restaurant stopped selling food and they started selling their venue. That's why catering companies are so big now. Why? Because I went in there and built a system for companies to create what? A catering process focused on the food, from the tastings to the sitting, from the sittings to the place. So your informational package is going to be a transformation as well too. You just don't want to put information in there. A lot of people put a lot of information on their core offer, and people get here and then now they lose what? They lose transformation because there's no actual way people are growing, nor are they saving time from just reading your book, nor are they experiencing. They might be wasting their time. They might be learning a lot of information, but realistically, what are they experiencing? Can they actually get results from here? I always ask people that if you're going to make a course, if you're going to make something, can someone get the results without paying you? When I made Sales More Offers, I made Sales More Offers as a free community for people to come in and just learn and get results in the first 3 days. From there, I invite them to the community so when they have an offer, they can actually get on the calls and actually sell their offers to everybody on there because they can present what they're learning, and plus I can still teach them. But you want to know one thing? Everybody that is in that hot seat, that is my content. I can now what? I can now leverage my information for content. And you know who pays me? Social media. YouTube pays me. YouTube pays me what? They pay me anywhere between $10,000 all the way to what? $25,000. And now I can leverage a community that I'm building for other people to gain what? Information, insight, and also what? Transformation. That's why it's so key to just know, where do you leverage? Where do you replace? Where do you automate? But what is the higher path from the path that you're taking right now? So let me kind of get a little bit more detailed into it. At this stage of your entire core product, the core product could literally be your book, or it could be the membership of teaching somebody. You know what this does? This is where people can grow in knowledge. They can save time because now they don't gotta, it saves your time. It grows your business. And now you experience an influx of what? Of community. Because I tell people, I go buy my playbook. Go buy my playbook. Why pay me anywhere between $10,000 to $25,000 when you can learn everything that I teach beyond this point? Because these videos right here, these are just tutorials on how to make $250,000 in 1 month. How to go out there and make $10,000 in 1 day with the business that you're already in. These are just tutorials. So if I'm giving the value of how to do it in 1 day, and then for the course of the 3 days, people are getting thousands of dollars of results, why pay me $10,000 a month just to be on the phone with me, just for me to explain to you in detail and personalize it to you, when you can go through the time and grow as a person going right through my playbook? That's the point. I put just as much information that I know, but I simplify it so that people actually have the transformation. When I built companies, when I built my second company, which is Why Not, which is an app for business owners here in Connecticut, I built it so that people can actually have an offer place where they don't have to spend money on ads, and my company does that. What does that do? The company is saving money, they're growing in customers, and now they get to experience something that I created. That's why it's key, because the next process of this in your third level of your offer, your third level is going to be your product, what you're actually selling. What are you actually selling? What is that product? What is that service? See, your service is always going to be attached to what? Your results. So why? When people pay me $10,000, because I remember not feeling worth $500. I remember contemplating, should I even charge someone $1,000? Until what? Until I saw the payoff was bigger than what they were paying me. And then I realized I had to take myself away from the equation and stop focusing on just the results. And I had to start focusing on how I can actually serve more people. See, you can actually get a lot more business today if you take you out the equation and stop worrying about how much money you want to make, and stop worrying about how much value you need to give, and start focusing on how valuable can you become to a person's problems. How valuable can I become to a person's problems? So if you're focused on you and you're not focusing on them, then what happens is you look at your problems. And when you look at your problems, you now move away. What? You now move away from them. And you're not focusing on how to become more valuable to what? To them. But if you focus on your problems and then you try to focus on them, then what happens is you now no longer have a system to serve. You have a system to chase. That means your whole entire business model, your whole entire product, your whole entire offer, your whole entire business, you as a person, you're just looking to consume. You're never looking to actually give somebody the result they're actually looking for. And I can tell you right now, the most successful people on this earth have done bigger things than you and I have ever imagined. People that have created water companies, even though it's free, they filtered it for you. People that have created gymnasiums just so you can go to a place and watch games. They have created a big enough problem. People, I don't really believe in medicine, but that's a different topic for a different day. So we'll move away from that conversation. But basically, I just want you to understand that it's as simple as focusing on creating a product, a service. Because remember, your service is as simple as this. This is what your service is. Your service versus serving are not the same thing. Your service versus serving are not the same thing. Service is a transaction. Serving is you in action. Inaction always doubles and triples and quadruples the numbers versus the service. Okay? It always doubles and triples. Your service is a transaction. They can only pay you about once or just probably monthly. But your serving is multiplying. When you go out there and become more valuable in your product stage and you focus on their value, you're actually reproducing in your business based on where you need to replace. So who can I get to start sending DMs for me? Who can I get to start doing my marketing for me? After I became valuable to knowing what the problem was and where they wanted to, and what they like, who can I get to start doing my sales calls for me? After I learned that the fact is we're no longer selling, but now we're just focusing on how can we actually help you get to the next level. And if I can't help you, I can't work with you. Or if I can't help you, I'm willing to learn with you and not charge you as much as I charge, because basically I will be learning to work with more people from you, and then they're going to respect that 10 times more. What do I mean by this? What does this all mean? See, when you're replacing, you're reproducing who you are. So if you want a manager, if you want a sales team to start doing what? 10x the results, you need to become 10x. You need to start focusing on how to stop selling to people and how to start serving to people, because people want to be a part of something where it's life-changing, not only for just them, but they want it to be life-changing for you. They don't just want to be a testimony. They want everybody with them to be a part of their journey. They want to experience true transformation. Okay? So your third level of an offer is a product. That's the service you're already selling right now. But the difference between your product is that your service is just a transaction, but who you serve is based on the results that you want to start solving the actual problem. The better you get at becoming more valuable and knowing that if I solve the actual problem, if I can figure out ways that it makes sense to me, because that's God-given ability. God given you the ability to think of how to solve someone else's problems. He's giving you the insight to think about how to go out there and become so valuable that serving his people, they're willing to pay you, because King Solomon, the richest and wisest king of them all, only did one thing. He said, God, I only want wisdom to serve your people and to discern the problems that they have so that I can help them in the best way. And from there, he was given riches and glory. He was given honor. He was King of Kings. He was literally the best king that ever lived. He was moving in inspiration and wisdom and also in imagination and communication. He has built the 4 levels of value of his whole entire kingdom. How can you go out there and do that now for yourself? Because you're going to have to start figuring out, okay, how can I become more valuable? So the 4th level of an offer is going to be your high ticket offer. Now, a lot of people think about your high ticket offer and they think this high ticket offer has to be you overpricing someone. No, I tell people you can't afford me. Like realistically, I charge anywhere between $10,000, $25,000. And you want to know what's going to happen next year? This $25,000 offer is going to turn into a $50,000 offer. Why? Because that $25,000 offer is making what? People $400,000 in a year. I'm teaching them how to make a multiple 6-figure business in just one conversation. I'm teaching them how to go out there and make a $100,000 offer in just one conversation. I'm teaching them how to make a $400,000 offer for their business, how to make their business a $4,000 value in just one conversation. They're already unlocking what? They're unlocking my belief system for their business, and I'm showing them the direction of how to take it. You become more valuable, guys, when you start being more and then focusing next on what you need to do for the people. And then what is the system that still takes care of the people so that you can take in more, but so that more can find you. And then you start to have all the things that you want. So you get to be, do, have at every single situation and part of your life, including your high ticket offer. Your high ticket offer is you're now the product. My high ticket offer, that's why I said, why pay me $10,000? You can pay me $10,000 once you start making what? Once you start making $100,000. If you're making $100,000, then yeah, go into the coaching program of a $10,000 coaching program. Why? Because then I'm going to show you how to take that $100,000 and turn it into 1 million. When it comes to 10X is not about you going from $10,000 a month. Okay. It's not about you going from $10,000 a month all the way to $20,000 a month. No, you want to go from $10,000 a month and you want to figure out how to scale a business all the way to $50K a month. Now tell me this, based on what I'm saying, if someone paid you 10 grand and then from that 10 grand, they made over 100, and let's say 110 grand in the next 6 months. Who had a better offer here? The person that received 10 grand or the person that now made 110 grand? Well, obviously it's the person that made 110 grand. And that's why I knew that the level of value that I've been moving myself up to and why I've been giving out the teaching and why I built the Sales More Offers Challenge is so that people can realize that selling is never about convincing. Selling is all about being able to serve people the right way and then having you realize how to actually serve them. If you can serve them in a better way, then you can know where you actually need to start replacing, where you need to start delegating. I'm going to show you guys right now. Replacing and delegating is actually the next couple of steps that you have to take once you figured out that making 100,000. Let me show you how easy it is to make 100,000. Ready? You want to make $100,000 a month. I'm going to show you right now. But how about we just say, let's make $100,000 in the next 90 days. Let's challenge yourself. How do we make $100,000 in the next 90 days because I'm not going to teach you stuff that I haven't done for myself. So how to make $100,000 in the next 90 days, we need to focus on two paths. There's a lower path and then there's a higher path. And in the lower path, you will literally think about how to make you'll literally think about how to make $100,000 and you will only focus on the money. And on this path, you will focus on the systems. What do I mean by this? The path of 100K, we'll put 100 up there, then we'll put 50 right here, and then we'll put 10 right here. The path of 100K, most people look at this path, and this is what they do. They go, my focus and my level of action in the beginning of the first 30 days. Then we have 60, then we have 90. My level of action in the first 30 days is hyper intentional, which means I'm willing to go out there and start doing the work. And where that can get me is close to a borderline of around $10,000 to a $50,000 because I'm working towards $100,000 in revenue within the 90 days. Doesn't mean you make this money. It just means the level of your action. And you know what happens? Most people stay at this implementation stage because they start off in imagination. So you start off in imagination and then you go back into your implementation stage. And then what happens over the next 30 days, you're still looking at what you need to double in your 60. And you go, well, I have to do more work. So you're going to go ahead and go in your next 60 and you're going to do more work. And what's going to happen is you're actually going to get burnt out. Because as you start getting burnt out and you're now looking at yourself and you're going, you know what? Think about this because I know this happened to a lot of people. It's happened to me before. And you're looking at the 30 days and you're telling your sales team, or you're probably thinking about getting a sales team, or you're probably thinking about how do you keep getting clients, or you're thinking about all the ways of marketing, and you just keep thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking on how to keep driving it. And what you're not doing is you're not imagining all the systems and steps that you need to take in order to become. So in order for you to become the person that has the $100,000, that's the trick right there. That's the secret, is what do you become? So because you're still thinking about the number over here, you're still thinking about how you can get there based on the number. You're not thinking about the systems that need to be in placement. So you're basically just borderline. You're just over here on a channel and you're not actually going up. What's happening is now you're just based off of motivation. You're based off of the number. You're going based off of the number of $100,000 that's actually motivating you, but it's actually only truly inspiration that allows you to start thinking about how to serve more people and how you can actually start going out there and making an impact based on the systems and the ways you could become more valuable to everyone. Because $100,000, I'm going to break it down for you. Now watch this. $100,000, to make $100,000 is as simple as this. It's simple math, okay? And you want to do it in 90 days. So $100,000, let's say you had a $20 product. Well, if you had a $20 product, out of $100,000, you're only going to need to make what? Around what? 5,000 sales. 5,000 sales. And I know what you're saying to me. You're saying, Quincy, I don't have 5,000 people. Or maybe you're in a restaurant and you're like, you know what? How do I even grow to 5,000 people? Or maybe you have a service or a product. You're like, how do I sell to 5,000 people? That is not your job. Your job is to focus on how easy is it to make $100,000 in 90 days first. Another way you can also make $100,000. Let's say we take a $200 product. You know, the best thing about math is all we have to do is add another zero. That's it. You add another zero, you take away one. And then now what? You have 500 sales on a $200 product. Now, if you remember this, you will start to see that this is just your low offer going into your core offer. From your core offer, what are we going to go into? Your actual product. So you start to become more valuable to where you have a $2,000 product. And I know cars sell for $2,000, chairs sell for $2,000, TVs, homes, parts of of different things, sometimes courses, sometimes services, ads. It doesn't matter what vehicle you in, but you can have a $2,000, you can have $1,000 service. It doesn't matter what you have. You can have a $5,000 service. Because why? That service becomes your results. So now instead of selling to 500, you're only selling to 50 in 90 days. Well, that seems a lot easier, right? To sell to 50 people. I know sometimes we focus on what? We focus on a number. We're like, how are we going to find 500? How are we going to find 50? And how are we going to find as well as low as 5? Because look at now we only need 5, which is what? 5 $20,000 clients. That's what made me realize that I was worth $25,000, because in my $25,000 coaching program, it's not even a program. It's an experience. It's a transformation. They're growing on all ends and aspects. They're going to completely the next level. So at this level, we're now showcasing who they're becoming, which is my high program, which is what? My high ticket, because it's not even a high ticket for me, because that's going to be worth $50,000 next year. Because why? I have made more, I have learned more, and I have done more. But you want to know one thing? I have also made new $20 core products. I've also made a new what? Course being updated, because the whole point about is making sure that I can serve people even when the time and age is updating. I want to be updating people at real updating time. So it's that easy. And then you get as valuable, because what happens is you start to do something at your free offer where all you need to do is you need to connect with what? You need to connect with 5,000 people in 90 days. 5,000 people in 90 days. I mean, shoot, that seems like it's pretty easy, because 5,000 people in 90 days, that's like doing like 33 people in a month. Shoot, that's like doing 33 people in a day to your free offer. That's like doing 33 people in a week. Because why? You only need about a small percentage, what? Buying one of these offers. Because you're so valuable. Not because they believe that they need to buy it. People buy where they feel it is valuable at for them what? To grow, to transform, to experience. So it's not me convincing you why you're going to have any of these people buy at any time. It's the fact that you need to first become valuable. And then once you become valuable, organize a group. Hey, reach out. It's as simple as this. If you're a new business owner, or if you're even a business owner, think about this. You're thinking about starting a company. You already have a company, but you're thinking about how to transition it. Won't you go get anywhere between 10 to 25 people to test out what you're going to be launching? Get those 10 to 25 people, what you're going to be launching. Take those 10 to 25 people, have them come in, give them value, transform their lives. And then once you transform it, take those 10 to 20 people and give them one of your offers. You have 3 offers left. You want to go this route, this route, this route to what? So that you can have more of a transformation. So that you can have what? More of a transformation. And each one is based on what you can afford, but not only just you can afford, based on where you want to go. How far do you want to go? How far do you want to grow? How far do you want to become? See, my $25,000 offer is not about growing. My $25,000 offer is not about going. My $25,000 offer is about how big do you want to become? Do you want to become unstoppable? Do you want to just be in your own frequency to where you're driving it all the way out? My $10,000 offer, from my $5,000 offer, from my $250 offer, $2,500 offer. I've been stumbling on that one. That's based on how far you want to grow. Do you want to grow in capacity? Do you want to grow in income? Do you want to grow in stability? My core product, my memberships, it doesn't even matter. I have 3 companies that all have the same exact outline, and all of them are now going to be funneling what? They're going to be funneling customers because I have something to help people grow in income, grow in assets, go to the next level, go where they need to be, become more, have their business stand out more. I run ads, I do funnels. That's one company. There's credit, there's funding. That's in the same company. There's automations, there's systems. That's in the same company. Instead of what? You can either learn it yourself, or you can pay an expert to do it for you so that you can get the what? The results faster. So that's why Beyond Seen is my company, because why? They give people the results faster what? On a marketing side. Then I have Why Not, which gives business owners the results in the location that I have Why Not set up at. It gives them results for free, but it gives them results for free where they can grow, and they can also get them what? They can get the results, the information, the people, the traffic, the leads a lot faster. Then I have Beyond Fruitful, which is my coaching program, which what? Has their own 3 to 4 setups where it allows you guys to come inside the Sales More Offer Challenge where you can actually learn and get results. Because it's easy. All you need to do is stop thinking about how valuable you are to someone else, and you need to start focusing on becoming more valuable. Learn more skill sets. Learn how you can add towards what you're selling. Add to what you're selling. That means stack what you have and go, I have a book, I have a meal plan, I have an exercise, I have a stretch. That's just for a fitness person. And then now they buy that $20 book, and now what? They have more value for $20 versus them paying you what? $2,000 for the month, or for $2,000 for the year, for what? For your fitness program. But that fitness program gets them what? Gets them 10 times more of the results. That's why I say this is key, because not because I'm telling you it's valuable, but because you're valuable. So this is all about you. So all you have to do is you have to think about, how can I give everything I know, and how can I become everything I can? Not everything you're not. Not everything you won't be. Not everything you don't know. Think about all the things you do know, and then think about the things you need to learn in order to put it there, which helps you get to what? Your 90-day goal of $100,000. See, this is the last part. Your systems is pretty simple. In the systems part, if you want to go from 10, all right, to 50, to 100, at each level, you need to start building systems in order for your business to grow. So you want to be at the implementation stage after your imagination. You want to make sure that it works so good that you implemented it and you gave it to someone else. Now what you did is you replaced. This is like going ahead and getting a VA after you sent out 100 messages on Instagram, whatever it is. You get a VA to do the work for you. Now she pays $20 and she direct messages everyone. You get ads and it costs you $20 and they market for you. You get somebody on Fiverr for editing and they edit for you. Which what? You buy back your time, you get the process faster, you grow in experience. But now what happens is, if you're doing it, if you're implementing and she's implementing or he's implementing, you can now move to the unification level and start building what? A system to make your process more easy when it comes to your text messages, when it comes to your emails, when it comes to anything in that standpoint. You can now grow. You can now grow your business. You're now moving from 10 clients. You're thinking about doing 4 clients. You're thinking about getting 10 new clients. Well, you can go from 4 to 10 just like that in one system. But now you can go from 10 in a month to 10 in a week. And now you got 40 just based on your system. And now you can start doing the sales for your team. Now you can start doing the imagination of how to grow your business even better, far beyond what you've been thinking of, because most people think at the limit of their capacity based on the results that they currently have. I move out of the results. It's called delayed gratification. It should only take you this. Here's the last gem. If you're doing a 90-day journey, your first 30 days, you should be implementing and looking at where the systems. So you should be doing and then looking at where you can what? Replace, delegate, or automate. You should be studying on how that looks for you. The next 60, you should be testing out your systems, and you getting better at your communication. The 90 days, you're basically looking at, does everything work in your imagination stage in order for your company to go far beyond? Because your last 90, which is your last 30 days, your last 30 days is basically where you start making the 100 grand a month, the 100 grand a week, the 100 grand a year, because you now have a system that already got you leads, that already pays you, because you became what? More valuable. So that is basically the call. You need to become more valuable, and that's how you go from going and thinking about how to do $100,000 in a year to going out there and now doing $100,000 in a month. And look at, does your business have the capacity, and do you have the capacity? But I'll catch you guys on day 3 as we are leading up to the last day. What I want you to do is I want to challenge you. What I want you to do is I want you to go out there. I want you to put a group chat together. Go out there and get a group chat, whether you're a coach, consultant, some type of service, tax, it doesn't matter. Whether you're just starting your business right now, whether you are selling product, I want you to, before you launch anything, what I want you to do is I want you to get case studies. I want you to get testimonies. I want you to get leverage, and I want you to get content. And I'm going to show you how to market your business so that you can actually have just 10 to what? 10 to 50 new clients actually buying the new offer. And I'm going to show you how to make a high ticket offer, but I'm going to show you how to have your low ticket offer be able to get bought every single day. Okay? Because it's literally just 30 days of building, 30 days of creating a system, and then 30 days of profit. That's your 90 days. 30 days of building, 30 days of creating a system, 30 days of profiting. I'm showing you here in live action how I went from doing one-to-one calls with everyone. Everyone got a result, and now I'm speaking to you from here, and you're still getting what? The result. So the first step I need you to do, I need you to think of what you're going to offer them. So go into your imagination stage, then create a group chat and reach out to everybody personally. It's like, hey, I wanted to invite you personally. I'm doing this. I want to get people here. And because I want to get people here, I'm doing this for free because I want to utilize you as a case study, or I want to utilize you so that you can get the result and give some type of what? Transformation, become more valuable. And in these 3 days, or these 5 days, or these 7 days, or in this one day that you're doing this group, do not focus on the value that they're getting. Only focus on the amount of value that you become during this process, because your only goal is to figure out not how to get them results, but how to place a seed in them so that the results are already bearing fruit within inside them, so that they're getting more in mental and emotional and stability and informational, and as well as just transformative value, rather than they are in cash value. I've done this with traders. I've done this with credit. I've done this with taxpayer. It doesn't matter what business you're in. Everybody's in complete different businesses. And I'm trying to tell you, this works 24/7. Make a group, invite 10 people today. From there, just invite them all in there. Work with them one-to-one. Give them about like 10 to 20 to 30 minutes of your time. Never go over an hour, and just practice from the basics, or practice whatever that offer is. And then from there, you test it for about a week. Once you have it for a week, they're now going to be what? They're going to be your case study. Okay? So I want you to do that. They're going to be your case study. Step number 2, as you're doing this with your group, go out there and start making content of you doing it with them. Because not only they're a case study, but they're now your content. So you now have what? You have feed going out there to Instagram, to YouTube, to any social platform. And now you can start having people that are watching their journey, that as well as watching your journey. Okay, so they're now looking at the case study. And then number 3, okay, number 3 is going out there and just having a testimony. So focus on serving them versus getting. And I promise you, the sacrifice is a lot better payoff, because at the end of it, I'm going to show you on day number 3 on how to use systems to scale your business. And then as well, I'm going to invite you to the Sales More Offer Challenge to talk about your case study, your testimonies, and what you have to offer once we invite you into the hot seat. So I'll see you guys soon. Go ahead. The link down below for the playbook is right down below. So if you want to get access to that playbook, you definitely can. But other than that, I'll see you on day 3. All right, catch you guys soon. Peace.